In the world of professional wrestling, there are legends. And then there is Hulk Hogan, a man who transformed wrestling from smoky arenas into a global phenomenon. The Immortal, the man behind Hulkamania. But behind the cheers, the fame, and the glory lies a story of triumph, struggle, controversy, and redemption. If you're a true wrestling fan and love hearing the stories behind the icons who shaped this business, then make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because today, we're diving deep into the life and legacy of the one and only Hulk Hogan. Childhood and early life. Terry Gene Bollea, better known to the world as Hulk Hogan, was born on August 11, 1953 in Augusta, Georgia. He was the youngest son of Pietro Peter Bollea, a construction worker, and Ruth Bollea, a homemaker. His family soon moved to Tampa, Florida, where young Terry would spend most of his childhood. From an early age, he was fascinated with two things: music and sports. Standing out because of his size and strength, he excelled in baseball but suffered injuries that derailed his athletic hopes. Yet Hogan wasn't done dreaming. His other passion was the guitar, and for a time, he played bass in local rock bands, envisioning himself as a musician rather than a wrestler. Conflict, entry into wrestling and rise to fame. But fate had different plans. In the late 1970s, Hogan's massive 6'7" frame caught the attention of wrestling trainers, Hiro Matsuda, and later, promoters in Florida. But the journey was not easy. During his first day of training, Matsuda famously broke Hogan's leg, testing whether the rookie truly had the toughness to survive in professional wrestling. Hogan came back stronger, and soon, he began wrestling in regional territories under different names before Vince McMahon Sr. gave him the name Hulk Hogan. Inspired by the Marvel superhero, the Incredible Hulk, the name fit perfectly for the man who looked larger than life. Hulkamania takes over. The real turning point came in the 1980s, when Hogan signed with the World Wrestling Federation under Vince McMahon Jr. On January 23, 1984, inside Madison Square Garden, Hulk Hogan defeated the Iron Sheik for the WWF Championship. That single night changed wrestling history forever. It wasn't just a victory, it was the birth of Hulkamania. Crowds roared, children wore yellow bandanas, and Hogan's catchphrases became part of pop culture. Train, say your prayers, and eat your vitamins. From there, Hogan became the face of the WWF's national expansion. He headlined the very first WrestleMania in 1985, teaming with Mr. T against Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. The 1980s belonged to Hulk Hogan. His rivalries with Roddy Piper, King Kong Bundy, Randy Savage, Andre the Giant, and later the Ultimate Warrior defined an era. His slam of Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 30 remains one of the most iconic moments in wrestling history. Conflict and struggles, controversies and setbacks. But behind the bright lights, Hogan's journey was not without struggles. By the early 1990s, Hulkamania began to lose steam. Wrestling audiences were changing, and the larger-than-life superhero image was beginning to fade. Hogan stepped away from WWF and later joined WCW, where in 1996 he shocked the world by turning heel, forming the legendary New World Order NWO with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. This move reinvented his career and gave wrestling one of its greatest storylines. Yet Hogan also faced personal controversies, from steroid accusations in the early 90s to lawsuits, personal scandals, and later the infamous leaked tapes and racial controversy that damaged his reputation in the 2010s. But just like in the ring, Hogan's life was about falling down and finding a way to rise again. Resolution, legacy, and immortality. Hulk Hogan's impact on professional wrestling is undeniable. He is a 12-time world champion, a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, and the man who brought wrestling into mainstream entertainment. Without Hogan, there might not have been WrestleMania. Without Hulkamania, professional wrestling might have never reached the global stage it stands on today. Yes, his story is complicated, filled with glory, controversy, and redemption. But love him or hate him, Hulk Hogan remains immortal. So now I ask you, what does Hulk Hogan mean to you? Was he your childhood hero, the reason you believed in larger-than-life characters? Or do you remember him as the ultimate villain who changed the game with the NWO? Tell us your favorite Hulk Hogan memory in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the legend of Hulkamania, Don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow wrestling fans, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss another wrestling story. Because just like Hulkamania once ran wild across the world, this channel is here to keep the legacy of wrestling alive.